Hello.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? It's Davey from the 80s and it's Del Boy from Movie Mash. We are back at it again, bringing you guys another one of our Better Call Saul after shows. How you guys doing today? How's everybody doing? Go ahead. Don't be shy. Say hi. You know what I mean? I'm just making sure this thing is loaded up on mine. For some reason, it's not loading up on
How are
mine.
you, Davey?
I mean, I'm doing great. After seeing this freaking episode, we have lots to speak about, sir. We have lots to speak about. You know what I'm saying?
I
So,
do.
first and foremost, let's try to give people a little time or whatever to get inside. Get inside. How's everybody doing today? Drop some comments. Let us know how you feeling today. I know I saw RS earlier today. I saw Faithiest Atheist. Uh, I saw a whole lot of people that joined me earlier today for another one of my videos. I like to thank you guys for that because I
Was
love
that
I love.
the Crowley versus Madman?
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh no 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 no.
Assuming you
Actually, it
watched
was for
it, I won.
actually it was for Nope.
Oh no,
It was for my
it's not
Nope
even out
video.
here yet. Can you believe that shit? It's not even out here in the UK for 2 weeks. Can you
I,
believe that?
I know you guys got two more weeks ago, right? In order
We
to get
got
that.
Henry. Last week, I remember you. How are you doing, mate? You good? He's living the dream.
Yeah,
We got
Henry RS. First Nope, now watch Gene Cope. Ha, that's what's up. All right, now I'm just making sure my video was up, man, because for some reason, like on my it wasn't showing up on my thing. But how you guys doing today, man?
how you
All
doing,
right.
RS5352? You good? Good to see you back, mate. It's all good.
Now before we start,
Hi, Miss T.
hey, Miss T's in the house. You know what I'm saying? Hi from LA, sunny Los Angeles. I have to ask you guys. I have to ask everybody right now in the audience. Speak to me. How are we feeling about this episode? Because a lot of people, when I say a lot of people, I mean a lot of people weren't very happy with this episode. And we're going to break it down and we're going to talk about it and we're going to dissect and discuss everything. But I wanted to get you guys' opinion on the episode before we go ahead and ramble on. So,
Yeah.
what did you guys? How did you guys feel about the episode? Because a lot of people out there talking about like the episode wasn't the greatest, it was the worst episode ever. Blah 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 blah. Like I've been hearing so many bad things about this episode, and you guys are going to hear our thoughts on it in a minute. But I just wanted to hear your thoughts before we go on. This week, subverted expectations. All right, RS says this week subverted expectations. How so? How so? Explain, elaborate, go into a little bit of detail. Don't be afraid. You know what I mean? Jump in the water, jumping in the line. Da-dun, da-dun, dun. And then we got Henry. A lot of people were saying that this was Better Call Saul's Fly episode. Okay, I get you. Yeah, this was okay. I can see that. I can see the parallels with that because that Fly episode in Breaking Bad was kind of a little bit strange. It was a little bit different. It's not what we were
Yeah.
used to. So I can definitely see that. I can see that. Any more elaborations before we go on? Before we continue and we give our thoughts about the episode?
I have a question for you.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Shoot.
Cinnabon, is that a real place?
You guys don't have a Cinnabon in the UK?
No. But
You
I
guys have
tell you, I want one.
You guys have
That looks
nothing
nice.
out there. Yes, Cinnabon is a freaking staple in every mall in America. I feel like every mall in America has a freaking Cinnabon. I swear that is
Really?
a staple. Yes.
Is it good? It looks good.
Oh yeah, it's good, especially if you get them fresh. If you get them fresh and you tell them to give you the fattest one, yep, it works.
Well, I'm sold.
Yeah, it's good.
I think we should get some over here. I tell you, I'm coming over anyway, so I'm gonna grab some then.
That'll be dope. That'll be dope.
Miss T. It
I
wasn't
will
your
explain as the chat goes on. All right, all right, all right. RS, I got you. I feel you. Miss T, it wasn't your typical Better Call Saul episode, but this is introducing him as another of his lawyer personas. Oh, personalities. All right,
Yeah.
cool. All right, I can see that too. I can see that too. Slipping Jimmy kind of reverting back in, and then Henry coming in and chiming in saying, every mall has a Cinnabon and also a Sbarro. Yes, every mall also has a freaking Sbarro. Do you know what a Sbarro is?
Nope.
Pizza place.
All right. We
But
don't
you
have
know
that
what
either.
though? Sabaros are kind of like falling off. Like we always had, like Sabaros used to be a staple in every single mall. Like the mall in Jackie Brown is the mall, is like the mall right up the street from me. It's the
Oh, really?
yeah, that's the South Bay Galleria. It's like right up the street from me. Wait, is it South Bay Galleria or is that the Delamo? No, I'm lying. That's the Delamo Mall. because
Stop
they
lying.
remodeled that area. But anyway, yeah. So that mall's like right up the street from me, and that mall had a Sbarro right there, but the Cinnabon wasn't right there. The Cinnabon's at the other end of the mall. But anyway, I digress. But yes, but Sbarros are low key like dying out. They just replace them with random ass pizza places. But let's get into the episode. That's enough talking about Cinnabons and malls and whatnot. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Although this episode to me kind of took a step back from what we're used to with Breaking Bad for Better Call Saul, and we had like a lot going on, especially with last week's emotional roller coaster with Jimmy and Kim, and then the week before that, everything going down with Lalo. It was kind of weird to see them kind of pump the brakes, but at the same time, this episode was needed. It was a plot that was introduced into the episode earlier, where the guy walks up to Jimmy in the mall and he's like, "Say the phrase, say the phrase, say the phrase," right? And he needed to solve that problem because he was getting ready to get the vacuum dirt devil guy and get the hell out of there. But he needed to finish it because he said, "I'll fix it myself," and he hangs up, right? So we needed to find out how he was going to fix it himself. Now, I don't know about you guys, or I don't know about you, Derek, but I'd rather have this episode happen now than at the end of the season. What do you think?
Agree, yeah. Because we've only got 3 episodes after this, and I didn't hate it. I thought it was okay. It was look, we had one explosive and one very busy episode last week. So I suppose it is a come down to that. But yeah, I mean, like if we get this as the last episode, people are going to be pissed, and we did need it. Although I did find this episode didn't have any conclusions, so it's just show. I mean, is that what his life is now? Is that going to be the end? Are we going to see something else to do with this? But yeah, I agree. I think though I prefer to have it now than later, to be honest. And right, so I didn't see the episode this morning until I woke. I mean, I woke up and I see Facebook had all these spoilers. Oh, the worst episode ever. It's all in black and white, and it's this and that. And I'm like, oh no.
People weren't digging the black and white, and I was just like, what did you expect?
I thought it was okay. You
Yeah,
know what?
it's not
It's a good episode. It's a bad episode. It's still better than some TV show's best sort of thing. So yeah, it was still a good episode.
But see, here's the thing though. There's been a lot of people talking about they wanted this Gene episode for the longest. Gene has been a discussion of a lot of different episodes. Like his name has come up a lot. Gene. We need to find out what happens with Gene. Now all of a sudden we find out what happens with Gene. Everybody's upset because like it wasn't as I don't know
if we find out what happens with him. We just find out what he's up to.
Well, we like I said, this plot point needed to be addressed.
Yeah, because they said it. Yeah.
Over, so it's like it's one of those things.
5 seasons, 6 seasons, like showing what he might be doing, and in total, we needed to see what he's doing at some point. You can't show all that. And again, I reckon we will see more of that. A little, just not as much, but I think we'll see a little bit more of that before the end because we need more of a closure with that because there was no closure with that ending. If you get what I mean, as such.
Well, yeah, definitely because this show is going to end with Gene because it started with Gene.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So it's like we need to find out how Saul Goodman's or Jimmy McGill how his story ends. We need to figure this out, right? So it's gonna end. The episode will end on a black and white episode. I'm just it has to end that way. It's probably going to happen that way. I don't know. I don't understand why people were so upset with the black and white thing. But then look, here's the thing. So let's go ahead and recap the episode for everybody, like we normally do every single week. So Jimmy McGill, Slippin' Jimmy or Gene, however you want to call him. There's this elderly lady who's very bitter to everybody. She's mean as shit to everybody. I love it. It's awesome. she's a douche, right? I love her though. She's going down the street and she ends up getting stuck on this ice patch. And Jimmy's there stapling things to the tree, and he's saying that his dog Nippy, got lost. And that for everybody that noticed the episode, the name of the episode is Nippy. The reason it's called Nippy is because it's his dog, right? So he ends up conversing with this woman, and he creates a plan in order to find his way into her trusting him to take her home. So he ends up taking her home, and this is where we figure out why he's doing all of this. He's doing all this so that he can run across none other than bum 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 Jeffrey, whatever the hell she wants to call him, right? And if you guys don't know who the hell Jeffrey is the dude that came up to Saul Goodman in the mall and told him, say the catchphrase. Now, I don't know about you guys, but it took me a minute to figure out who the hell it was because the actor was played by somebody else. Did that throw you off, Derek?
No, I knew straight away.
You knew straight away because I told you, fucker.
Yeah, that did help. But
Yeah.
spoiler, I was going to say was yeah. So straight away when I saw him putting the pictures up at Nippy, I knew straight away he was up to something. I don't know what he was up to his old tricks. Yeah, there was no way that he was just doing that for somebody. I mean, he might have been, but nah. And when I saw Jeff, yeah, I knew who he was straight away because you confirmed without spoiling it, something like that. But to tell you the truth, I can't quite remember what the other guy looked like anyway, to be honest. So
you know what? I didn't remember what he looked like, but I knew he didn't look like that. Because I was looking, I'm like, who the hell is this dude? Like, I'm like, I was like, I want to say this is the dude from the mall, but I'm not 100% sure if it's him. And then, yeah, like as it went on, I'm like, okay, yeah, it is him, right? But it threw me off. Did it throw any of you guys off? Let's look at a few comments before we continue on with our thing. I think they want us to expect
atheist.
You good? I think they want us to expect some grand Jeff plan, but it turns out that Jeff was just a loser who Saul could manhandle like a chump.
Yeah,
that's true. Because like I noticed like one of the complaints was they were like, oh, Jeff looked way more menacing. The previous actor looked a little bit more menacing than this one, but this one looked like a puppy dog. Atheist also says, I think the writers wanted us to expect some. Oh, he said it again. Loser. Da, 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 da. All right, going on to the next one. Henry says, I feel like we have to go back to the Breaking Bad timeline because Walt and Jesse are going to appear. And during this episode's timeline, Walt is dead and Jesse is in Alaska. Yes, because of El Camino. Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
Honestly, the recasting wasn't that bad. You could tell it's a different person, but it wasn't jarring all for the same for some reason.
I agree. It wasn't.
Yeah, it just took me a minute to figure out who the hell this person was, like who he was supposed to be. That it just took me a minute. Once I figured out who he was, I was like, okay, I know exactly what's going on here. But it just took me a minute to like confirm with myself. But so Saul Goodman finds his way into this house. He finds his way into this old lady heart because we already know that he's great with the old ladies, right? He's great with the elderly. The elderly people love him. Remember, he was studying elderly law.
He's really good.
He's really good. He's really good with the old folks, right?
Charming as well, yeah.
Yeah. So he finds his way.
Funny.
It's funny as shit. He finds his way into this old lady's heart, and it's really just to get closer to Jeffy, right? And basically he just tells him, look, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to show you the game and you're going to leave me the hell alone, right? That's the whole idea. And Jeffy looks kind of confused at the situation. Now, let me ask you a question. Did you think that that's really what Jeffrey or Jeff wanted? Did Jeff really want to get in the game? Or did you think that Jeff was just messing with Saul in the
I think he was messing with him. I don't think he wanted to get in the game, but I think Saul kind of made it sound alluring. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm a top boy. This is, you want to jump in here with all the girls, all the women, all the money, all that. And he was like, his mouth was wet, you know, from that. And he knew what he was doing. And yeah, I don't want to go on about what comes later, but yeah, he knew what he was doing. He was working his way in. He saw this guy was an idiot. A bit of a bully in the last, not this one, but the previous one. So he did seem a bit more menacing in the last one, if I do remember. But yeah, an idiot. But I don't think. I think it was he allured him in to this world and saying you could be part of this if you want all the women and stuff. You know, made it sound sexy, sort of thing.
I think so too. I think that he just baited him in with the money, cars, and women thing. I think that he sees that this dude's a loser. He's living at home with his mom. He doesn't have much going.
He could play Norman Bates.
He kind of could, right? He just sees that this dude is a loser. He's like, I can take advantage of this. I know exactly what he wants. He wants to be one of the beautiful people because he's an ugly person. You know what I mean? So he baits him with this, and Saul Goodman, Gene, Slip and Jimmy, whatever you want to call him, devises this crazy plot in order to have him steal clothing from a department store during closed hours, unseen and unnoticed, right? And
Yeah.
it's a brilliant freaking plan. Like it really brought back lots of memories. Like when he was on the phone with the lady from the department store, it reminded me of uh when they had all the cell phones on the table and they were picking up the cell phones and saying that Saul's bodyguard, the big dude with the big bodyguard, that he was a good guy in New
Oh,
Orleans.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's gone missing, isn't he? He's not been in it in a while. But
yeah,
yeah,
well, yeah, because he was in flashbacks, but I don't think but that's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of that, and I was just like, it kind of made me feel kind of laughing. I was just like, yo, this brings back so many memories of the previous episode. So it was a real cool feeling.
yeah,
But the biggest and most funniest thing was the training regiment that he had. He devised a whole map. He mapped out the whole store and he taped it off, and he had him practice this over and over again, right? And then also Jimmy did his job by sweet talking the guard with sweets. And he figured out how long it took the guard to eat that Cinnabon. Now, I
yeah.
gotta ask you guys this question. I didn't think it was going to take him, almost 4 minutes to finish that Cinnabon. I thought that Cinnabon was going to be gone in 60 seconds. What do you guys think?
It would have been in my house.
I really thought it was going to be gone like that. I'm like, yo, this dude is about to tear this Cinnabon up. For him to eat it and chop it all properly in a little
He was
pieces,
quite pacific the way he was moving it around, and and
he made sure he ate
yeah.
half and then turned it and then like ate the other half. But he cut it
To
into
me, I
like
just
super small
pull it
pieces.
over.
Yeah, and it was funny because he ate it from the outside in, which I ain't gonna lie, I do too. I like eating the centerpiece like for last because that's like the best damn part. But
Yeah,
so Saul Goodman devises his whole damn plan, and all it has to do is be executed. He did literally all the legwork, and all Jeffrey had to do, or Jeff had to do, was go inside, steal the damn things. Right now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that it was gonna be like maybe 10 things tops. But he had that man steal about 20 items, 3 each, right? So
yeah,
I didn't think he was going to be stealing that much. But the one thing that everybody criticized this episode about, they said that this episode was boring, right? They said it was boring. It wasn't. You got to admit, when that man slipped and fell and hit the
yeah.
back of his damn head, and
Oh,
that guard was about to turn around, I was on the edge of my seat. I don't know about you, but I was really just like,
right. Tell you the truth, I thought he was actually setting him up. I mean, he was, but I thought he was setting him up to get caught. To get him to get as much as he can, and then get caught, maybe in the box or not. Because I was thinking, why would he be going to this much trouble for this? But then why are you going to this much trouble to set him up like that? I couldn't quite figure it out. But when he fell over and Saul kind of choked on his coffee, I was the same. I was like, you fucking idiot. And he laid there for about, I don't know, 5 minutes. And I was like, oh,
it was a
no.
long time, and he had
But
to
when
come
I
up
see
with like,
Saul making excuses and started crying about his life story and all that stuff, I was like, all right, he's definitely not setting him up here, But yeah, you're right. I mean, I still don't think it was a bad episode, but for anyone who does, surely that those moments were really good. Like, they were exciting, they were funny.
that was a
And
very intense moment. But let's go to the comments. Faithius Atheist, yeah, Jeff stumbled on this and made a great first play, but Saul recognized that there was not much there. Yeah, that's true. See, but that's the good thing about Saul. He has that eye. He knows the hustler, right?
yeah,
He knows the game too. I saw a cool comment that fixes the fact that Jeff is played by 2 people. At first, he was a menacing because Gene was scared, but then once Gene gains the upper hand, he looks like a complete loser. That's an interesting take.
it is.
That's a very interesting take. Okay.
It is
It's
very,
like it's like a psychology perspective. Okay. Why did the security guard have his back to the cameras while eating the Cinnabon? That made no sense to me.
because the table, I suppose, was the other way.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, it's funny because you would think that most people doing their job, they would continuously do their job while they're eating. So
I
it
think
was,
they get too used to something not happening as well, and it's probably not a lot happens, and I'll be all right for a few minutes. That
I
kind
mean,
of
but
thing.
he made look. I don't know about that because he made sure to look at the cameras before he started, and then he made sure to look at the cameras again after he
Well, I
started. He
suppose
made
it's
it
part of because of reasons, I
because
suppose.
because of plot, right? Like, we
Because
just
of
gotta
plot.
say
Yeah, you
because of
had to
plot.
happen.
Yes, Henry, that's it. The writers planned on Jeff not being all that The switch in actors just drove it home. The switch was unplanned, but it worked.
I like the fact that you guys are now talking to each other as well. Stay friends. But yeah, no.
Atheist, you can also fix the Fat Todd problems the same way by making it seem that that is how Jesse views him. Fat Todd. Okay. But so to me, that was like the most intense scene in the episode. Saul Goodman puts on a show and talks about everything, but at the same time, you have to understand that I don't know. Have you noticed that every time he lies, there's always some truth in his lies?
Yeah, always. There's truth in his lies. The truth is out there. The truth is behind all the lies. He's just bending it a little bit, you know what I mean?
He tries to make it seem like he doesn't care, but it's the truth, right?
Yeah.
Like it's been ever since like he talked about it was one episode where he was on I think that when he was getting his license back or whatever, his bar, and he says something about Chuck, and then Kim was like, "Oh my god, that was like so like heartfelt." He's like, "Ha, you believe that shit? I didn't mean it." You know?
Yeah.
But you know, deep down inside, he actually meant it.
He meant it, yeah.
And yesterday, that was another thing. You know, he doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have kids. His brother died. You know, his parents are dead. You know, those are true statements. You know,
yeah.
So like I said, Saul Goodman uses the truth in order to get the upper hand. That's what I've been noticing at least, right?
I think so.
Let's see. Maybe Saul played the room and used body language to manipulate where Frank sat. I can see that, but I mean, they probably would have to show us a little bit more in order for us to get that.
Because
I'm not gonna lie, the scene where Gene is talking to the cop eating the cinnamon roll while seeing Jeff run through the mall stealing stuff on the security cameras was the funniest shit. It was funny. It was
because he just went bang. He just sees his legs go up in the air and bang. You're like, oh my god, you should have known, Saul. Oh my god, you fucking idiot! I couldn't believe it. I was like, you fucked this up, you idiot.
It was funny though, just like watch him go like this, and he's like looking down at his watch and trying not to look too inconspicuous.
And he started talking about like, you know, how sad life is and all that with the security guard and all that. And look at me, you know.
Right. Look at me, I'm a piece of shit. I'm nothing. But yeah, so
I will say this though, there's something. Being a truck driver myself, it did occur to me that they turned up in a truck, and there must be security cameras outside. And if anything goes wrong, there is that evidence there, which he does use towards the end. But I did think to myself, you've covered everything, but the truck, nobody, you know, there is a truck to turn up. There's cameras outside. There's going to be a way of, there's going to be some kind of evidence, and where they rented it, maybe the name on the side of the truck, you know, that kind of thing. That did occur to me. Like, so everything was covered. It was, but that's what I thought was good about the episode, is because I was thinking throughout, he's setting him up. What's he doing? Or there was a point where I thought to myself, is he doing this just for the thrill of it because he's bored? You know, did you think that at any point?
No, I was wondering what's the end goal. And I was like,
did you think he was bored at any point, that he's doing this just for the thrill of it? Because, you know, he's got
in the back of my mind, and knowing how Jimmy McGill's character works in the show, yeah, you can definitely see him like dipping and dabbling back into it because he misses it. You know, like think about
setting him up.
You can even tell by the way his body language was, the way that he talked, and how different it was from like the beginning of the show. He looks so miserable at the beginning of the show when he's working at Cinnabon. He's miserable. He's just like, oh, it's my break. Okay. He's so robotic. And then now he's just like, oh, he's throwing Cinnabons like that, being friendly with the staff, talking with everybody. And that's because he's in character. That's because he's slipping Jimmy. He's Jimmy McGill. You know, he's back in business, right? That's what it is. He put on the ring. He's about the showtime, you know? That's his whole thing.
That's it. But as I say, like, I mean, there's moments when you see his face, and he's good at his facial expressions, where you see he felt like he came to life a little bit while it was all happening. And, you know, like you said, he was robotic at the start.
Yeah.
And throughout all the black and white clips throughout the whole seasons. But there was a few moments, including the end, where you see his face kind of come to life, where he kind of got a kick out of it as well, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean. But
exactly.
I'll get to that towards the end.
But the thing is, this is another thing to take into consideration. I know you were talking about the camera thing, and I wanted to point this out. I remember when he was talking to the guy, he told him, like, within 72 hours, all the camera footage is going to be erased and there's going to be no evidence of it. Now,
Yeah.
I don't think it was more. It's not. He doesn't want him to get caught by the company or the mall or anything. He wants to have that in his back pocket. So if Jimmy goes down, they
Well,
go down.
that's what I was thinking.
That he can always
He had
throw it
to
in
have
there.
something. He had to have something. But I was considering, right, if he gets caught while doing this, I thought he can still tell everyone who Jimmy is. Doesn't matter. He might even cut a deal there, So he had to do the full thing for it to happen. So I wasn't sure what was going on. I was 90% sure he was setting him up. But the only time when I thought he may not be is when he fell, and I was like, all right, you are bothered about this. Do you know what I mean? And he did go to a shitload of trouble to set this up.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
It's basically like at the end, it was a checkmate. It's the ultimate power move. It's the checkmate. He was like, look,
he is 10 times smarter than them.
oh,
He knew
yeah.
from putting those pictures up of, is it Nippy?
Yeah.
This was all preset. I mean, like, and if you could have gone wrong, because do you remember when he called in to the manager?
Yeah.
I'll put the picture up now, the correct picture at the right time. Yeah. If that phone call went wrong, the game would have been over.
Yes, this is true.
He's so confident in himself. He knew what he was doing. But that one little thing, if she said no, yeah, I mean, which a lot of people in her position had a right to, because that could have been a bomb. Yeah. If that went wrong, it would have been over. He preset this whole thing from the second he was putting those things with Jimmy, Nippy. So yeah, I like how clever he is. And these guys had nothing on him.
It's wild to think about how much his plans focus on gaining the trust of the other person. And that's not a very easy thing to do, especially with people that don't know you. Like gaining the trust of these two idiots, gaining the trust of the lady on the phone, the department store lady, gaining the trust of the security guards. These aren't easy things to do, but he studied them, he chatted with them, and then he found his way to kind of like weasel his way in, right? So Jimmy is a mastermind at winning people over, and that's why he's good at the game, right? But let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes. Jimmy checkmates them at the end, and he basically tells them, look, you rented that truck over the state lines. That means that you've taken it out of state lines, which means it's doubling the I think the sentence or something like that, or doubling the crime. And then you have over $5,000 worth of goods here, and he's just adding it all up. Boom, 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 boom. This is what you're looking at minimum, right? You're looking at this much years in jail. You're looking at this, and if you tell on me or you tell anybody who I am taking you down with me. You're going to do just as much time in jail as I am. So, with that being said, you don't know me. Matter of fact, you don't even go to that damn mall anymore. I am non-existent to you. You don't exist to me, right? Yeah. What did you think about that scene? Because I felt like it was very powerful.
Yeah, no, I felt like, he was on top. He let them know he is boss. And I'm better than you. They were like, come on, we're all friends here. He goes, no, we're not. Well, you think about it. Just say you threatened me in the past. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about something that is could ruin my life. And then me and you now are talking like that. That shit's in the back of my head. We're not friends. What you done, we're not friends. You have to remember, even though things are going well at this moment, you did that, And for me, I have a question for you, though, because I'll forget now. Right. Why do you think, remember he called the vacuum guy to run away?
Mm-hmm.
And then he changed his mind. Why do you think he changed his mind instead of running away?
Simply because he felt like it was something that he can fix. Like he probably felt like I can't sit here and run away every single time. And on top of that, that's a lot of freaking money. Like the vacuum, and then didn't the vacuum guy said it was going to be double or something?
something like that. I also think it's down
or am I getting
to
this
running.
mixed up with El Camino?
I also think it's down to just constant running.
Yeah, like I don't think he wants to live his life in fear.
Yeah.
So he was like, you know what? I'm gonna try to solve this shit on my own. Because think about it, man. Jimmy has always been a problem solver since the beginning of the show. You know,
Yeah.
he tried to run a straight arrow path.
Well.
He tried to run. He tried to run a straight path, but then he's just like, "Yo, I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. I know in other circumstances I can fix the situation. I'm sure I can fix the situation now." So I think that's where he was looking at. Let's go to a couple of comments real quick. Let's see. Henry says, Gene says something like, once they find out all the stuff is robbed, they won't have the camera evidence anymore. Yep, because it's gone in 72 hours. I just realized Walt is dead, Mike is dead, and Jesse is living a new life. So if Jimmy did get caught, what could possibly be used against him? Who could say what crimes he did? No one is left. There's a Breaking Bad. No. There's a Better Call Saul like special feature or something that I was watching, and it's like this fake news clip where it's like what's that show? Anyway, what is it, 24 or something like that? Not 24. 60 minutes. It's like 60 minutes. And it's a whole thing about the whole Walter White situation and everything like that. And Jimmy is tied to Walter White. And because he's tied to him and he helped launder money or whatever, that's known, that's public domain. They know this already. So because they know this, he's automatically due for like some jail time just because he was tied to Walter White, and because also, you know, he was helping him launder money.
And he's slipping Jimmy.
And he's slipping freaking Jimmy. But let's see who else. Jeremy Hill. Hey, a new face in
Jeremy
the building.
Hill. How you doing?
The whole plan was banking on a fat security guard taking 3 minutes to eat a Cinnabon without looking at the camera.
It is, but like I said, the lady when you called up, the manager, if anything went wrong, it would have been game up. That's it, and including his plan with the fat security guard eating a 3 minute Cinnabon. Everything was down to fine detail, and it was all hanging on a thread. And the smallest things like that, or the lady, anything went wrong, game over. Game over.
Yeah, because he didn't know that Jeffy was going to end up becoming Slippin' Jeffy. So yeah, let's go ahead. Francesca could turn him in, but I don't think she will. Oh yeah, his secretary.
Nah, yeah, she would have done that a long time ago.
I think they mentioned her on that thing too. Like, I think she's like, she just says that she doesn't know anything.
But I think she would have done it a long time ago.
Oh yeah, of course. But Jimmy gave her a shitload of money, I guess, in order, because at the end of Breaking Bad, Jimmy gives her a shitload of money. So, and I think that's hush money. So, yeah, at least that's the way I'm looking at it. We got an exact timeline for this episode. By the way, the football game that the cop and Jeans were talking about mentioned it. This episode takes place on October in 2010. Dang,
all right,
you guys are little sleuths. I love it. Detective Henry. All right, I think Saul changed his mind about running because he realized Jeff wasn't the force he pretended to be. All right, that's true, right? He was like, "This fool ain't nothing." He was on the run because Hank and Gomez disappeared. Oh yeah, the two cops.
Oh yeah.
But what did he knew about them in the desert?
Must be. He did.
Yeah. I guess this is the thing. When cops turn up dead, they want names, they want bodies, they want somebody to blame. And usually they want somebody with a pulse. You know what I mean? So Walter White is dead, and right now their only hope is Jesse Pinkman, or Saul, really, because everybody like who was that? Atheist, or they mentioned earlier, like everybody's dead.
Think about the info that Saul knows on everyone. Fucking hell. He'd be like,
Saul has dirt on everybody. Let's see who else. The docuseries that has a fake episode about Jimmy is called American. Yeah, there you go. American Greed. That's what it's called.
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's like a fake docuseries, and it's like I swear it's like 60 minutes. and they talk about all this stuff. So they talk about how Jimmy
Let's
is
look
on
into
it.
that.
Huh?
I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
So let's see. Overall, like I said, this episode wasn't like the most amazing thing ever, you know.
Yeah,
But
I still think it was good. It was more than filler, if you get what I mean.
it wasn't filler because it was needed.
Yeah.
Like
It was
if
more
we
than
would
that.
have went to the end of the season and never found out whatever happened to that guy that approached Jimmy in a Cinnabon when Jimmy got on the phone and said, "I'm going to handle it myself." If we never would have got those answers, then that would have been a problem. That's going to be a huge plot hole. So let's not act like, let's not act above it. But truth be told, this episode wasn't that bad. It was something that was necessary. I'm glad we got it now and not at the last episode, because that would have been very disappointing. But the question is now, where do we go from here? It's kind of hard because I know that we're gonna have they're saying that Jesse and Walter are gonna be in one of these episodes.
Yeah. It could be as small as cameo of them turning up to Saul Goodman or on the way to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just want to go. Excuse me. So people always speculate, including myself, on these groups about who's doing this. Now, the mom, Jeff's mom.
Yeah.
We knew she was going to be on it, but on Facebook and all social media, it was the speculation about who she was going to be was huge. Like if Kim's mom was
Kim's
one,
mom,
and
yeah,
I actually thought it could be. There were so many things, but it turns out she was just a minor character, and she was just like a minor character for someone else. She wasn't even the main character. So when it comes to Jesse and Walt, it could be just something like that. It could be just the fact that they're going to be showing them at the last episode on the way to Saul when they go to see him, sort of thing, or when they first meet him, sort of thing. It could be just as small as that. I mean, it may not be a full episode. It probably won't be. I think people, including myself, they're going to be in, they're going to throw them all in. It could be just a cameo. You have to remember the role as well.
But here's the big question I have. These next couple of episodes are supposed to wrap everything up.
Yeah.
Right. And we already have entered the saga where he has fully engulfed the character that is Saul Goodman. He's Saul Goodman now. What more can you tell us for the Saul Goodman era that we kind of don't already know? Right. Like there's not really much story to tell with Saul Goodman. And it leads me to understand that we're going to be seeing a whole lot more Gene than anything, because that's the only chapter that is not completed.
It's true. We could
every
see
chapter is basically completed. Like
we could see another full 2 episodes of something like this, because as I said, we needed it, but we still didn't get any conclusion with it. The only thing we got was him walking away from how he used to dress, which was terrible.
Suits.
Do you know what I mean? That was the only thing we got, which is a kind of a nod to the way he was, but it was still no conclusion. I mean, maybe that is going to be the conclusion, but is it possible that this story arc has not been touched enough, and we need more? It feels like we need more of a happy ending, but you know how shows go. It may not be. It may just be an ending. Do you know what I mean? Which is fine, because I see one where, and it's a perfect ending, where the Hoover guy sets him up with Kim. Something happens, he runs, and she has a little child there, and they run off. I'm like, no, that's too much of a fairy tale story ending. That's that. If that happened, everyone would be happy that he's happy, but it would just be shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not really a good, like, look, here's the thing. I want to say this. Like, I'm glad that we got a Jesse story, but at the same time, I'm not gonna lie, El Camino was kind of like underwhelming. And I'm afraid for this show kind of right now, because I'm like, you're in the final season, you're in the final couple episodes, you haven't let me down so far, but it's like there's not much more that you can do.
I know what I mean? They've done such a good job so far, including this episode, that I am not worried. Not really.
Because I really felt like the Lalo Gus thing was going to be kind of like the climax of the season. And it basically was the climax of the midway point of the season. So it's like I get it. Like we got to wrap up who Saul Goodman is, whatever. We got to finish this chapter, but at the same time, can they create a storyline that's as entertaining as the rest of the season with just Gene? Like, can you do that? Can you create a bubble of drama or some sort of conflict with him that can be resolved in a span of 3 episodes in order to fulfill and make everybody feel content with the way that you handled the story? Because again, we are back at it where this show is being put up there with some of the greatest TV series out there.
Definitely.
And the way that it ends is going to be the telltale sign for everything. If it doesn't end with a bang, it's going to tarnish this TV show. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy when you hear people say like, yo, this is one of the greatest TV shows on earth, but just skip that last season though. Or just stop at this episode though, right?
Well, like you said with before on another episode, Sopranos is still my number one favorite TV show of all time. And it's heartbreaking how it ends for me. And most people agree it's heartbreaking.6 a high and then just a flat note at the end. Apparently there was going to be a film, but it wasn't. So anyway, as I said, but I am really confident in these writers. They've really, I mean, even this show, even even when they killed Howard and the end of that was a big, massive show. The one after last week's, that was still good. It was kind of wrapping up.
It was emotional.
I don't know, was it Faithiest, Atheist? Someone said, and I'm nearly 100% now, that was the last we were seeing of Gus and Mike.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I can't see them coming back anymore.
I'm positive that was a good call, by the way. If that was you.
But I feel like at this point, any flashbacks are just kind of filler. Unless they add anything significant to the story.
Yes, it has to be. But again, I still think it will do all right. And we might actually get another episode of this of the black and white version.
We're getting at least 2 episodes. I really think we're gonna get at least 2 more episodes of Black and White Gene. And I feel like once whatever the character arc is done or the chapter of Gene is done, it's going to go in color. I feel like that's going to be the symbolic nature of this shit. But that's just me though. That's what I think.
I do feel that I would prefer to see him doing. I mean, I'm not expecting the fairy tale ending, but I do feel that he's in this Cinnabon and it's only a means to an end. It's only a temporary thing while he's hiding low. He's just going to go off somewhere else eventually, or because there's no way Slippin' Jimmy, the life he's leading is just too dull for him. There is no way he's just going to, and it's depressing. And if it ends on that note, it's going to be depressing for us too. We don't need to see him run off into the arms of Kim, but we just need to see him kind of find himself and have some kind of future or something that's good. Because look, Saul is a great character. He's he's wasted in Cinnabon, as we all know. But the problem with Saul is that as clever as he is, he makes really bad decisions. And that's what gets him in trouble. I mean, his intentions are good, but bad decisions. And I think that we may see another episode of this possibly, but you know what, again, back to it, I'm actually believing the writers, because I don't think I've ever seen a bad episode of Saul. I mean, people would say no, I haven't seen. I don't think I've actually been say, look, that was a shit episode. Some great, but never a bad one. Never since episode 1.
I think there's a possibility that we see Saul Goodman or Jimmy McGill, however you want to call him. I feel like he's going to create a new character, a new player in the game, and I feel like it might be Gene. And if he does that, I might be content with that, depending on how he goes about it. Because, like you said, his life is boring. He sees it. You can see him kind of getting you can see the thrill kind of in it when he was like playing with the ring, and you can see him getting thrilled at doing what he was doing with the cops and everything like that. It brought back all the memories. It's kind of like when Kim and him would hustle people at the bar, and how that she was getting that thrill of doing it.
That's you know?
Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of similar with him.
You see at the end where he kind of walked to that store and he kind of nodded, like he was kind of like, I don't know, there was kind of like he was kind of chuffed with himself, like, yeah, I did this. You know, you don't even know it was me.
Let's hit a couple comments. Jeremy Hill says American Greed is a real show. Oh shit, I didn't know that. The intro playing the theme song and then abruptly cutting to the blue screen was pretty cool. Oh yeah, then we had that little thing with the crosswords. I think the episode might have something. The next episode might have something to do with Kim. You want to know something interesting though that my wife caught, that we actually both caught. There's a song like, because I watch the show with subtitles sometimes because like the mixing is off, and one of the songs when Jimmy was hiding against the wall after he went with the give the Cinnabon to the guards.
Yeah,
the song was called like Jim or Jimmy Walks or something. And then the person that made the song was by Lalo something. I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
I didn't know that. That's such a nice little nod, actually.
It's like, yeah, it was like, it says something Jimmy, like walking Jimmy or skipping Jimmy or something like that. Jimmy Walks or something, and it was by somebody named Lalo something. I thought that was a really cool little nod. I don't know if they did that on purpose, but probably most likely.
I think it was.
The intro playing the theme song, okay, and abruptly cutting. So yeah, that's what made me think of that. Thank you, Jeremy. What about if Jeff moms know who Jimmy is, but she is running a scam? What the hell?
That would be funny.
That would be crazy as hell if she's just like, Gene, or should I say Jimmy? I know who you are.
Fuck my son. I want the money.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be crazy. Hey, that's a good idea, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Let's see. RS5352 says, here's a wild theory. There's something from the Breaking Bad time that we don't know yet, and that will create a new drama for Saul now, and we'll flash back to that new info. But I feel like that would end up making like a whole new storyline that you'll need a whole season. Like, can we? Is that something that we can finish and resolve in 3 episodes?
Yeah.
You know?
With 3 episodes.
Henry, Walt and Jesse are going to be in a scene together, and they are going to have a separate scene too. So the show is definitely going back into the past soon. I mean, I know it was going back in the past. I'm just saying, like, is the past still relevant in this situation now? But I guess I got to see the episode in order to find out. Henry also says, imagine if Lalo survived past the entire Better Call Saul Breaking Bad timeline and he was the one stalking Gene instead of Jeff. That'll be crazy as shit. Look,
yeah, that'd be.
Miss T said it like 2 weeks ago that she thought that she would love to have seen Walter and Lalo interact, and I think that would have been the craziest interaction ever. Because Walter is so unhinged, and he becomes so unhinged, and Lalo is such a charismatic asshole. It would have made the perfect storm. Faithiest Atheist says, I say the writers purposely closed out all the questions now so that we have no idea what will happen.
It's true. It is true. I have absolutely no idea where this is going. What's the next episode? Even in the last episode, I have no idea where it's going. Because all the main key characters are out, seem to be out. Lalo's dead. Howard's dead. Kim is gone. We've seen Saul in his full Saul uniform and office. And we've got this one. I don't know. I mean, sometimes it's hard to predict with this show because we just don't know where it's going. I have no idea, but I'm still loving it, and they haven't let me down yet at all.
Henry also says the Sopranos ending was hated when it first aired, but now it's looked at more and more favorably.
Yeah, there is a niceness to it now, but I think because of the climax of what was going on and towards the end, we were hoping for more. But there is a kind of a nice, meaningful moment at the end of it now that you watch it, and I agree.
All right, so look, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna allow you guys can throw out theories, ask questions, throw out discussion topics, whatever you want, as long as it's Better Call Saul Breaking Bad related. I don't care. Go ahead and throw that out there. We love to interact with you guys, so let's make it happen. All right, let's see.
What channel is Jeremy talking on? Because I don't see him on the live chat.
I don't know. Jeremy might be either on. He might either be on Movie Mash, he might be on Third Reel, or he might be on. Wait, no, we're not attached to Facebook, right?
No, not today.
So he's probably on one of Derek's channels.
So I've got 2 channels, right? I've got Movie Mash where I do movie reviews, and I've got the Third Reel where I do movie reactions, because bottom line is that I get copyrighted badly. So I made a separate channel to do reactions for fun for films I haven't seen, and we're going live on my channel, my two channels, and Davies. So it's Movie Mash and the third reel. So he could be on one of those.
Unpredictable. Somebody new. I have no clue how to say your name, homie.
Sorry, mate.
I don't want to. I don't want to butcher it. I don't want to butcher it, but shout outs to you. And he's from YouTube, but what YouTube channel? I wonder if it tells you what YouTube channel. It doesn't.
No.
But he says unpredictable. And then he also says Gene couldn't tell Jeff about pretend. He didn't know Gene. If cops came, Jeff just say Gene is my mother's friend. Lying is more dangerous. Okay, I can see that. I see what you're saying.
Very thoughtful, very thought provoking.
Yeah. Okay. Did you notice how the timer in Jeff's house sounded like Hector's bell? I did. I thought I was tripping. I really thought I was tripping. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, the little timer that went off when Gene took something out of the oven. It sounded like Hector's bell.
I didn't.
It completely reminds you of that.
You know what? You're proper Columbo, you guys. Yeah. I didn't even notice that at all, and that's actually obviously must have been a nod.
Let's see. Jeremy Hill, I don't see any other comments either. It's because you guys are on separate channels. That's why we try to get you guys to like cross-contaminate channels.
So they can't see each other's channel. Oh.
No, they can't. They can't see each other's comments. They just see it coming across the screen. So
Jeremy
most likely is on Movie Mash or the third reel.
And if you haven't subscribed, please do.
I know that Faith. I could tell you who's on mine for sure. Faithiest, Atheist, Henry, RS. They're all on my channel. And then Miss T, they're on my channel. I think the other ones are on yours. Let's see. I'm on YouTube. Jeremy Hill. Whose channel are you on? You on
Jeremy is on Jeremy Hill is on Movie Mash, so you are on mine.
Yeah, he's on Movie Mash. All right, cool.
So please subscribe.
Yeah, the bell sound.
See you next week as well, mate.
The bell sound was a cool moment. Yeah, of course. I think this. Now, let me ask you guys this. Now that we finally wrapped this whole thing up, does this episode deserve the hate it was getting? Yes, no, maybe so. What do you guys think? Does this episode deserves the hate or the lashback that it's getting? Do you guys think that? Tell me. Let us know. This episode deserves that. Oh, I hear an echo.
Yeah, no, this.
I hear an echo.
Yeah, so what did you guys think? Do you think it's as bad as everyone's saying? Did you enjoy it? Did anyone here hate this episode?
Because this episode is getting dragged, and I was more. I know what I thought about the episode. I was more interested in hearing the voices from you guys. Like, I want to know what you guys are thinking. Do you guys think this episode was trash? Do you think it was bad? Like, seriously, like, what's going on?
Hi, Daniel.
Daniel, I wonder whose channel Daniel's on. Daniel might be on your channel, sir. But Daniel says, what do you think about Jeff? I think Jeff is a freaking weenie. Jeff is such a freaking weenie.
He was Norman Bates without the character, without even being as clever.
It's wild because Jeff's character was a lot more intimidating prior to this episode. So it was weird to see him kind of like become something like, look how weaselly he looks. And it's funny because this dude to the left with the glasses on looks like somebody I used to work with. But but yeah, he looks so weaselly. And you know what I was worried about? I was worried that he passed out in the bathroom when he went to go hide. I was like, what about if he passes out in the bathroom and they find him in the bathroom the next day and he gets caught any damn way? Jeremy Hill says, this episode was better than the Fly episode from Breaking Bad. Yes, the Fly episode from Breaking Bad was pretty damn bad. It really...
Yeah, it went on too long. It was
symbolic, but it just didn't fit in with the Breaking Bad universe to me.
It just dragged on for too long, that episode, if I remember.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. But I understand. It's funny because I understand the symbolic nature of the episode, but at the same time, like, I feel like it wasn't necessary. Then we have Faithiest Atheist. It doesn't deserve the hate because it was good. It was much different than what the fans wanted, but that just shows how these writers are. But look, this is the crazy part. The wild part about it is I don't understand why people are complaining because at the end of the day, They've been asking for a Gene episode. Like I've been seeing this nonstop for this whole season.
Yeah,
I've been saying, Gene, where's the Gene episode? We need a Gene episode. We need a Gene episode. What happens with him at Cinnabon? So it's really wild to see that everybody's so upset when they finally get what they want. You know what I mean? So it's just sometimes you just can't do things to like please the fan base.
that's true.
Henry says, no,
And
this
you
episode
didn't want to
was
see it
hilarious.
at the end. Sorry.
Henry says, no, this episode was hilarious, slow in some parts, but overall hilarious. 7 out of 10. 7 out
Yeah.
of 10 ain't bad. That's a C in my book. And it's not, like I said, it's not a bad episode. It is better than the Fly episode in Breaking Bad. So we going to.
It's just it was a decent episode. And you remember the big climaxes we had prior to this. So I think a lot of people are expecting explosive all the way to the end. And no, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. What we got?
Yeah. Who else? Daniel. This episode does not deserve the hate. It is a solid 8 out of 10. That is a B in his book.
Daniel. It does not. I mean, this morning when I woke up, before I seen the episode, worst episode ever. Worst ever. It's ruined the whole TV. I'm like, really? I was like worried about watching this. Like, I mean, how bad has it been? And sometimes when you hear it's bad and it's not ever as bad as you think, but in general, still think it was a good episode. So yeah, I agree. It didn't deserve the hate, and it was solid.
People were dragging this damn episode. I'm telling you, like the whole time they were just they were out here on their executioner shit. Like they were inquisitors, man.
Yeah.
Let's see. Henry says Jeff gives off Todd vibes. I think Todd is a better. I ain't gonna lie. I like Todd more than I like Jeff. I like Todd more than I like. If anything, Jeff gives me what was Jesse's two homeboys' names? Skinny
P, is it? Skinny P?
Skinny Pete and then what's the other guy? Weasel or Skunk or something?
Help us out. Skinny P and the other guy.
But yeah, Jeff reminds me of them. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, Gene, the homie over here. If you could please, could you tell us what you want us to call you? Because we want to call you by your name, and I don't understand how to say that name, and I really don't want to put it because I don't want to disrespect anybody.
Yeah, I don't want to
disrespect. You know what I mean? So if you could give us like a nickname or something that you want us to call you, I would appreciate that. But he says that Gene pretends to be Steve on the call. The department manager didn't hear that the colleague called him Gene. You know what? I heard, I was thinking the exact same thing when she was like,
yeah. But she mustn't have heard it.
It was one of those. It
occurred to me. I was like, shit, that fucked you.
Again, it was one of those things where I think it was just done just to make, or it might come back. This possibly could be something to come back. Maybe like she goes to Cinnabon or something, and she's like Gene.
Maybe, but
she hears the name Gene, and
she was in the background when he gave the flowers. They didn't make much of a point of her. They said, "Oh, he got flowers," and that was it in the background. Yeah. So I
do think she's a one and done character. I don't think they're gonna build on it, but
so
But yeah, that was pretty. I think that was just done for suspense. The Gene thing. Let's see. People wanted a Gene episode, but they probably wanted him to face his own life and try to fix everything. Not talking to a cop, eating a cinnamon roll, and making a stalker rob them all. Henry always coming in with them crazy with the facts. So what he's saying is, I think he said people wanted a Gene episode, but they wanted something a lot more.
Yeah. Well, we still might get more. So, Daniel,
I want 2 Breaking Bad timeline episodes next, and then a Gene episode for the last one. I could definitely see that happening. I think that Badger, that's what it was. I'll call him Weasel. But yeah,
Badger. Yes, that's it.
Badger. Well done. Yeah, Jeremy Hill with the save. Badger. But yeah, Daniel, I could definitely see that happening, especially because Walt and Jesse are very popular characters. Let's see, Jeremy Hill, Badger. Thank you, sir. And then he says, "Yeah, it's possible the manager heard the word Gene, and she will figure all of this out."
It's possible.
It is true.
It's possible, but I just don't think it will happen. It feels like, no, there's too much of it could be something that's brought up right at the last minute and he has to run away again, maybe. But I just don't think, I don't think she heard him because she would have, you could tell by the way she was on the phone if she knew something suspicious was going on. She didn't. Her eyes, she just seemed to be listening to him. He seemed to be telling the truth to her, and she If she thought at any point anything didn't seem right, she wouldn't have left that package there.
Yeah, she kind of bought a hook, line, and sinker, right?
Yeah.
My friend here gave us a name. We could call him Sean. All right, cool, Sean.
All right, Sean.
We will call you Sean, sir. Thank you.
How you doing, Sean?
Sean,
Please
make sure you come back next week.
Next week.
Yep. Make sure you subscribe and come back next week. Don't worry, we're gonna drop both our channels.
We will remember Sean.
Yeah, we always remember. RS5352 says the manager will tell security about Gene, and Frank will be like, "Oh heck no, we know that dude." Oh snap! You think that's what's going to happen? It's going to happen in a conversation where she says, "I had this weird conversation, and I was talking to this guy named Steve, and I heard in the background they said Gene, and it was like Gene, we know that guy. He's cool. He brings the cinnamon rolls, right?" Exactly right. Then you're really gonna have to call the vacuum guy and get sucked.
Because this is what happens. He does something, and then something else happens through a bad decision, and then something else happens, and then he's on the run, through bad decisions. This is Saul's life,
Saul's
and
life is on the
before his brother kind of was right in a way, because
everything he does turns to shit.
Yeah, because look, he's a really good lawyer. He really is. Yeah, he's actually too small time, and he's very clever, as you see throughout, especially and even on this episode. But he just makes bad decisions constantly, and that's why I think his brother. I don't know if it was out of jealousy or what the fuck, but it was he just being a prick. But it felt like, what, everything he does falls apart. Anyway. All right,
I'm very happy you guys are thoughtful. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We want to make sure that everybody that comes here, they feel welcome and they feel a part of this discussion, because we want everybody to be involved in this discussion. All these questions, all these comments, we read them every single time. We go through them, and we make sure that everybody has a voice on our channels.
Exactly.
And
because
it's
fun as well. The stuff that we spoke about, that me and you talk about, but all the comments and all the theories and the extra bits that we haven't even thought of, it's actually really good. And I love hearing about it and reading it and interacting with you guys. And I love the fact that you've returned and we're getting to know you now. Although none of you have subscribed to my channel, by the way. I'm just saying. But yeah, no, it's great. And Sean, really love to have you. Love to see you again next week.
Exactly. You got to keep coming back, man, because it's going to be every single week for the rest of your lives. All right, so let's see. That one security guy didn't like Gene at first, and Frank now feels awkward about Gene since Gene's fake breakdown. So both security guys will be postured to accept Gene as the culprit. Do I want to say that? I don't think so. I don't think it broke. I don't think it weirded him out enough. Because I will say this: that one security guard didn't like Gene at first. The first guy didn't like him. Right?
He couldn't welcome in any quicker towards the end, sort of thing,
Yeah, but at the end, they all kind of developed this. I think as long as Gene keeps coming in there and popping in with Cinnabons, they're gonna be straight.
Yeah,
talking football and sports and eating cinnamon rolls and chilling. As long as he keeps doing that, is everything.
I think he may have scared him a little bit with that little sad story. He's like, "Oh shit, I don't want to get involved."
Yeah, exactly. But but here's the thing, though. Gene's gonna have to keep that going. He's gonna have to keep talking with them a little bit and not just disappear, because then it's gonna look suspicious as hell.
Definitely. Or saying that, he could say his excuse, saying, "Look, I was embarrassed to come back after my outburst." But anyway,
Henry, I like the subtle "it's showtime" gesture in the episode. Saul is still there inside of Gene. Of course, it's who he is. But like I said, I wonder if Gene is going to become this mixture of all of these personalities. Yeah, he's going to be Gene, Saul Goodman, and also Jimmy. But is it going to be Slip and Jimmy? See, because there's the thing: there's Slip and Jimmy, and then there's Jimmy McGill.
Yeah,
so,
and then there's Saul.
Or James McGill, whatever he wants to call himself. But anyway, so it makes you wonder, who is it going to be? I think it might be a mixture of all of them. I think that'll be pretty cool. Do you think Kim will make another appearance? I feel like she's going to be on the next episode.
I don't.
That crossroad, come on, bro. It's a crossroad at the end of the episode, and he's over there telling about overtime, you'll forget. And he's saying the thing that Mike said to him. I think we got to get some Kim closure in here somewhere.
I know what you're saying. It'd be nice, but I'm not feeling it.
even if look, it's going to happen. Even if Jimmy is being a creep and just watching her from a distance and seeing that she's moving
all right.
on with her life.
It did occur to me at some point. Will he see her and not say anything to her? Do you know?
He could
Because,
watch her, but he's
yeah,
definitely going to
yeah.
try to see how she's doing in life.
I'm not feeling it.
He's going to look at her. He's going to creep on her. Creep.
That'll be it. I don't think she'll be in as another part of the story, just in the background, possibly. But
It's going to be like it's going to be like Dark Knight Rises, where freaking Alfred
yeah.
Also, the actor who plays Frank is fairly famous, so it's highly likely we'll see him again. Most likely, everybody was hyped about him. The security guard. Let's see. RS5352, thank you, sir. Henry, isn't Slippin' Jimmy and Saul Goodman kind of the same?
Yes.
Yeah, they are kind of the same. But I feel like Slippin' Jimmy. All right, so Slippin' Jimmy is a straight up con artist, right? I feel like he's a street con artist. Right, that's what he was doing with his homie. They were like, "Oh,
Jimmy,"
and then they would act like they're stealing the freaking money. Yeah. And then what he would do is he'll give them the money for the Rolex watch, and it turned out to be a fake Rolex watch. He was like a petty street level criminal, right? That's who Slippin' Jimmy was. Saul Goodman is kind of a mixture of
he's professional
Jimmy and the lawyer side.
Yeah.
So it's kind of incorporating that street.
He knows how to get away with shit that he didn't know how to get away with before and use the law and bend it to his way. But Slippin' Jimmy and Saul are virtually very the same. It's just
one has a law degree.
Version of him, you know.
One has a law degree from the University of Samoa. Yeah. Go land crab.
All right.
I still say Jimmy and Kim will go to jail on purpose. They'll clear the air, take the hit, and help the other prisoners with law stuff for the rest of their lives.
It's anything's possible in this show because we don't know where it's going, but I'm not feeling it. But I love the you know what? Look, it's just unpredictable. It could be that, and you know what? I would be happy if that happened.
Hey, that's not a bad ending though. Like, I'd be happy
with that.
Aside from them willingly going to jail, that's not a bad ending.
Maybe some of you guys should start writing shows.
Because look, I can see Kim doing that because Kim feels guilt.
Yes,
I can see her doing that. Yeah. But Jimmy has come up with this equation thanks to Mike that he's able to like kind of like suppress those feelings.
Yeah,
but I don't think Kim is able to do that, and that's why she quit the bar. All right, let's see what else.
Sean
is back. Yeah, department manager hasn't a reaction shot on the call. She might thought his name is Steve Jean, but Jean is impossible to never talk to the manager forever. Works in the same building. Yeah, basically they're bound to like run across each other. Now the big question is, will they run across each other? But I think the bigger question of that will be, is it going to be something big enough for us to? Is it going to be big enough to insert a plot point? It might be something. It might be something like, "Oh, your voice sounds familiar." Oh, why does that name sound familiar?
He does say that actually. Sean says, he says she may recognize his sound. He does have specific. He's kind of a husky type voice. He does have a specific sound. She may say, "I might recognize you," but remember, she's on the phone all the time. She's a manager, and she may recognize him, but it don't mean anything. But it's hard to know. You could be completely right. It could all happen. It could be the ending of him or make him run off. Who knows?
Yeah. One difference between Slippin' Jimmy and Saul is that Saul Goodman has all of the one-liners and the funny dialogue he always says with his earphone. Oh
my God, that fucking earpiece.
Yeah, that shit is annoying, but I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, I think Saul Goodman. I honestly think that Saul Goodman is a little bit more artsy than Slippin' Jimmy, because Saul Goodman came up with them videos, like the ideas, and he's really creative when it comes to those stuff. Like, he's a really creative character. Yeah. And you can even see it with the way that he dresses. Saul Goodman is Jimmy letting his creativity flow freely, in a judgment-free zone type deal.
Let me ask you a question, and everyone else out there. Do you think he dresses like that because he likes to, or he just does it because it's part of his kind of persona that he wants everyone to see? Because it's really bad.
Wait, say that one more time. I was reading.
Right. So, do you think Saul dresses like that because he likes how it looks, or do you think he does it so it's a persona how he wants people to see him?
I think it's just eye catching, and he wants the attention.
Yeah, I think so too because it's terrible. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's really terrible.
Yeah.
Faithiest Atheist says he just subscribed to the third reel. See you next time. He has to jet.
All right, mate. See you next week. Yeah, I mean, look, it's been an hour and 10 minutes now. We've gone longer than we normally do, which is fine. I mean, the only thing is, it's just we've actually been on about this episode longer than we thought we would go because of what happened on it. It wasn't as big as the last two, but
Yeah, exactly.
your interactions, then we'll just keep reading them, you know. But we're gonna have to call it a day soon. All right.
Saul Goodman has the yuppie thing going on, and Slippy Jimmy doesn't have. I can see that. And then we also have Sean. I have a question. How did Kim know Mike's last name? Ermintrout Kim ever knew Mike? Name she didn't even know Mike. They worked at the same courthouse, and he was in the garage parking lot. So there's a possibility that she knows him from there.
Yeah.
But then they also talked in the cafe when she found out that the people were following her. So I know she recognized him for sure from the courthouse, though.
Well, it looks like we're coming to the end of our 10th episode, and we just want to thank everyone for joining us as usual. And hello to the new guys, Sean, and who was the other guy? We check.
Henry came last week, right?
Daniel.
Oh,
sorry.
Yeah, Daniel.
Henry
came last week.
Well, hello to you guys, and thanks for joining. Henry, we've had him before. He's usual.
Jeremy Hill too, right? Jeremy Hill. I don't remember him last week.
But anyway, as I say, like, look, please subscribe to my channel, which is Cinema Chop Shop or the Third Reel. No, Cinema. I just call myself Cinema Chop Shop. It's 5 o'clock in the morning over here. I've just got up to do this, so give me a break. He's Cinema Chop Shop. I'm Movie Mash. Subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Wait, hold on, wait. Before we go, Gary, a new person just stepped into the arena. Hey, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Next time they do an Omaha episode, y'all need to switch your cameras to black and white. That'll actually be a dope ass idea, Gary. Gary, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Came a little bit late, but we will be here at the same time, 8 p.m. Pacific time next week on Tuesday to keep recapping episode 11.
Yeah, 4 in the UK.
Do you think we will see Mike again in the next? I think Mike is done. I think Mike and Gus are done, Henry. But make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, the Cinema Chop Shop, just Cinema Chop Shop. I'm pretty sure that he's going to put it in the comment section or in the description. Click it. Go subscribe to the channel. Go subscribe to Third Reel and Movie Match because we love you. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate you guys coming every week. So make sure you guys come back next week, same time, the same old stuff. So I will see you, Sean. I will see you, Henry. I will see you, Faithiest Atheist, Gary. Shout outs to, we're going to go down this whole RS 5352, Daniel. Also, shout outs to Jeremy Hill. I think that's everybody else. And Henry, if I haven't said your name already, shout outs to Henry. Shout outs to Miss T. Yes, shout out to Miss T. Shout out to the whole Saul Goodman gang. Anyway, I will see you guys next week. It was a blessing having you guys. Make sure you guys come back, tune in, subscribe to both our channels, man. And we are out of here.
See ya.
Adios.